What up, y'all? This is Syi and
Swerve.
man himself, Swerve, and we're gonna talk about The Last of Us Part Deuce.
Yeah, it's a first game review that we done here on the channel.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, we're just gonna play around with it, just see how it goes.
See how it goes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Before we go, we got to shout out around Seattle, man, for the equipment, for everything we got here. These microphones. We got a green screen now, and we gonna probably put some stuff up out here. Let's see what Mike and Syi can do together with these post edits. Got 100% confidence in both of y'all. Because Swerve is confidence, y'all.
All right.
It's confidence.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, let's jump into it. By the way, before we get into it, this is gonna be not spoiler free. This is gonna be spoiler heavy.
Heavy everywhere.
Spoilers heavy, man.
It's like 3-4 weeks now.
Yeah.
So it's about, y'all should have at least got halfway through.
If you were gonna pick it up, I felt like you would have did it already.
If you haven't finished it yet, somebody has spoiled it for you already.
Exactly.
Somebody has told you and complained.
Spoilers are everywhere, like on YouTube. Even if you watch like the first something minute clip, like you're probably gonna get spoiled. So yeah.
Social media spoiled it for me.
Oh yeah.
Comments.
Yeah.
Comment sections got me.
So that's what got you. Because I remember when the spoilers originally leaked, I looked at them. I did go into this knowing the spoilers.
Yeah. Before you played?
Yeah, before I played.
Okay.
So I remember when the spoilers originally came out, and I warned you guys, I was like, hey, all you guys who are fans of don't want to know what's going on in The Last of Us, don't get on Twitter or don't look at the hashtag because they're spoiling
Facebook. It was Facebook that got me.
Facebook got
in my
you?
own comment section too. I posted something about it, like how the game was making me feel, and somebody was like, "Yeah, it's too bad that what's the name died." I was like, "Oh," so it killed the beginning of the game for me.
So you had the game already?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had the pre-order, and this is what's killing me from doing pre-orders from now on. For the near future, I will not do another pre-order for another game again. I promise you.
It made you that mad?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I paid it was like $10 extra.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, you get the old pistol or something like that. You get something.
It was something real minor because you have a PlayStation Store.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I saw it on there too. I was like, I'll just get the base game.
Yeah, I should have too, but I'll eat that. I'll eat it.
Yeah,
but
yeah, this got me. I don't know. This year, the way this year has been going, just for everything, I'm really nervous about Cyberpunk.
Oh, don't say that.
Because
there's a lot of good stuff coming out in fall too.
So there's two games. This is the reason why we decided to do this, because basically, The Last of Us Part 2 was the game we were gonna get. I don't buy
universally, everybody here was literally gonna get it.
Yeah. So I don't buy too many new games fresh off the bat, like outright within the first 2 weeks, unless I'm super excited for it. The two games that I knew I was going to buy as soon as they dropped was Last of Us Part 2 and Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
But those are the two games I'm okay, I'm getting those week one.
And Alistair put me on to Ghost of Tsushima. So he showed me those clips along with Cyberpunk at the same time. So I knew those two were going to be it. And then Last of Us trailer broke, and then they pushed the game back. So I was kind of eh.
Shout out to Alistair. He's a friend of the show. Did he play it?
I didn't discuss it with him yet. I don't know. I don't think he did.
Okay.
But I gotta check with him.
All right, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So first, going into this
overview of the game for you.
Overview for me, I think. All right, so I already knew this was gonna be hilarious going into it, because off the back, I knew I was probably gonna be more positive on it than you were. And I still think I'm going to be a little bit more positive, even though it's got some flaws.
Then you be the positive. I'll be the negative. I'll take the heat on this one.
You're gonna take
because I got a lot of digs. A lot.
I got quite a bit. I got quite a bit as well. But I think overall,
there's two different perspectives going in this though.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. So I mean, if you guys follow my bro on social media and everything, and if you have been, he's been ripping into this game.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get to those things that I remember what I tweeted out too about it. Mm-hmm. But when we get to the section of talking about certain things like gameplay and certain presentation and we start judging it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get into it then.
All right. So overall, how do you feel about it?
I feel very depressed. And certain games like this, we already know is going to have its peaks and valleys. There's going to be down, 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 because Last of Us 1 was down, down, down mood, but it had its peaks where it was just like, oh man, like we reached something with the relationship between Joel and Ellie. Okay. And then it was like positive. Oh, they found this. Oh, he is going to survive. Like there was a lot of like peaks and valleys with that. For here, it was just like a mudslide that's down from the start. From the start, they started, and it was it was just
It's heavy.
yeah, it was like
It's heavy.
And then when you could do the flashbacks, it was like, oh, it never got any better since the first game. Wow, that's really annoying. So that's where I first was like, that was like just a negative tick for me. Then the fact that overall you don't get any other levels. You are in Seattle the entire time.
Yeah, pretty much.
So everything is like, and they extend this game because the first game was like 8 hours. They extend this to 20 to 25, depending on if you find everything.
I was gonna ask.
Yeah, rewards.
How'd you feel about the length? Because I thought it was way too long.
They stretched first of all, they stretched an extra hour and a half in the ending.
Yes.
Didn't need to be there. Didn't it didn't need to happen.
Okay.
Because at that point, at hour 15, I was ready to like, oh, come on, just get to where we need to go. There was just too much sauce, too much seasoning, and I just get to the meat of the game. You know what I mean? Just get to the meat of it. It was a lot of like going around to complete simple tasks, and that's where you feel like you're wasting your time, and that's where you feel like you're dragging. Like, you got to get a gas can. Okay, we got to go through here, check through this, go through that, there's a trap. Oh, fell through this. Oh, look, found the gas can. 3 hours later, I'm like, oh, come on. Then you got to track all the way back because Seattle's one level.
The environmental puzzles can definitely be.
It was just stretching the game time, and it felt like it was just stretching a lot of things.
True, because a lot of it's like.
And you were seeing the same levels over and over again. It's just rainy, dark, and gray, and industrial with some plants. Foliage.
It's only so much. So, I guess since we're already jumped into gameplay, so I actually enjoyed the gameplay for the most part. Yes. I think that was one thing I actually really did that kept me playing for as long as I played. I actually really did enjoy the stealth. I enjoyed the AI. Very brutal takedowns. Particularly on Ellie's part, with
the controller rumbling when you do certain stuff, you feel it. You feel the brutality with it.
Yeah. But I will. This is one positive I actually do have for the game. One of the few. It is they really set up, and they're for the most part pretty consistent with the kill or be kill vibe that the game sets. It feels a lot more brutal. You fear humans a lot more than you fear the infected, which was kind of an interesting twist, but also kind of like, well, the first game was about the infected, so I guess naturally it makes sense. Like humanity will eventually get to a place where we feel like we have a grasp on things, and it's only a matter of time before we turn on each other. So that I kind of got. More of my problems is really more so with the story, which we're gonna get to that.
What about the variety of the infected that you were fighting? The lack of.
Yeah. So what we had your regular infected, you had the clickers, which are still creepy to me. They still were pretty creepy to me.
You'll run up on things and be like, oh.
Yeah. Still pretty creepy. I hated the
stalkers, right?
Yeah, I couldn't stand the stalkers.
Yeah.
The stalkers are like, or they were new, right?
Yeah, they're new.
Okay. I thought so, because they're like, they jump you.
Yeah.
Like
they lure you.
Yeah.
Because they'll get close, swipe at you, and then they'll run back. So it chases you, and then when you chase them in, is the pack of them. There's like 3 or 4 of them, so they kind of lure you in.
Exactly, and they're like hiding behind like a wall, but they, you can see them, and they're
sometimes they get a little stupid.
They do.
Sometimes they'll peek their head out, and then I'm pointing the rifle at them. And I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah, just-
and I'm like, I'm just going to shoot you.
Exactly.
You get just popped.
Exactly.
So there's some issues with them on that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of their levels too, you can actually just run. Like,
Yeah, I figured that out later.
yeah. So like the first time, I kept like trying to fight them because they caught me on low ammo. So they caught me on low ammo. Yeah. And I was just like, well, and I tried to fight them, and then that's when I would get jumped. So I'm just like, okay, let me just run and try to figure out.
What difficulty were you playing on?
I played on medium.
So I played the whole game on hard.
Okay.
So you really got to be tactical on hard. I think that's where you get the. That's what a lot of people were saying online. Was just like you get a real grasp of the game and survival when you play it on a harder difficulty, because you have to be resourceful. You have to take your time. You have to be strategic with your movements. You got to be careful of the glass on the ground and like stepping on it and stuff, because they'll hear it and then they maneuver based on that. Even with like the humans and the scars and the Seraphites, and the wolves, like their attack strategies change.
That is well, that's just good AI. That's just really good AI.
But you don't get that experience until you put it on hard. You know what I mean?
I got some with like on the medium. Like they would like if you were, say you shot something from like a part, and they'll be like, oh, it came from over there, and you know they'll circle around you. They'll try to flank you and try to do that. And now I have seen like people say it's more intense. So some people say like medium was too easy for them.
Yeah.
I was just trying to get through it, to be honest with you, because really, honestly, with games like these, the difficulty doesn't really matter. It's more so like you kind of
experience it.
Yeah. It's more so the experiences.
All right.
Experiencing. Sound like
for me, as far as gameplay, there are like I felt like I achieved a lot when I put it on difficulty, and like I really got to be careful with every step I make. This
is a guy that didn't want to play Sekiro, ladies and gentlemen. That's
I did not. I did play it, and I did not enjoy it.
Who does not like From Software games at all?
Nope.
But continue.
Negative. So yeah, you had to be strategic. I had to map out closely where I was going. And for some reason, it's a linear game, but the levels felt big for some reason.
That was another gripe I actually had with it.
Yeah, that was a gripe.
That was a gripe. Well, no, it was a gripe and also kind of a compliment because one, the levels are pretty big. They're pretty fairly open ended. Like especially like the couple of like the garage you go into.
Yeah,
there's like levels upon levels, and each level is actually pretty
You'll miss
big.
stuff.
Yeah.
You'll miss rooms. With that being said, but that also helps with your strategy on like, boom, if you are caught, there's a lot of places you can.
There's a lot of ways you can
get
There's
away.
a lot of places you can go and run and hide and then reset.
And then reset, set up a new strategy, set your traps. You know, like because I set up a lot of traps. I did a lot of like the trip
C4?
bombs. Yeah,
I trip bombs.
Yeah, I did a lot of that because like I would get chased a lot because like in hard like they're on you. So I did enjoy that aspect. My problem with though is like turning to run always got me caught up on like a desk, especially when you're inside.
Oh really?
In an office area, especially with the stalkers, because they come back. You got to turn and run. Boom, you run into a desk and you get caught from behind. And the camera wasn't quick enough. So I was like, one of the things I tweeted out was like, some of the things I fought that were more and more difficult than the stalkers and the infected was the camera angles. So that was like bothered me because I was like the urgency, the camera wasn't as quick with the urgency I needed to do to escape.
Camera angles is interesting that you brought that up because
especially in a close corridor.
Did you when you did a lot of like the cutscenes? Did you notice that like the camera kind of got caught in like elements? So like there's one. I
didn't see this. No.
There's one. I can't remember where exactly it was. I want to say it was on the. When you go to the marina as Ellie looking for Abby, and I want to say there was one cutscene where like you got caught in like a boat or something. But there's another one. I remember.
Everything's so tight and close.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly.
Everything they're trying to fit so much in action and movement into this tight area, like getting into the boat is like that, and sometimes you'll miss stuff out of the corner, or you'll get stuck on things. Like my thing was just trying to escape and run because your animation running changes when you're under
fire and all that. Like,
I want to be quick moving, but then I won't hop the table quick enough because I'm stuck on this can of food or something on the floor, or like I'll run, or like the camera won't swivel quick enough, and then I'm getting caught from behind.
Okay.
So
Oh yeah, you get snuck.
You get snuck a
so
lot.
many times. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll be fighting some dude and some dude.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna punch you in the back of the head. So I'm like, oh, so there's that. Another thing was like, when I upgraded and got like my extra satchel to fit another
A gun
weapon,
or whatever.
sidearm, or you know, that when I would like switch, it would block the whole right screen. So I'm like, that would hurt me so bad because I'm like,
I wonder if they. I wonder if they like maybe fix that.
I don't know, but I won't be playing the game again so I will not be putting myself through the like torture.
Because I remember you were saying like when you try to like
especially when you upgraded and it got bigger.
Yeah.
So I'm like big old shotgun right here is like blocking dude creeping up here, or like a dog running around. Yeah. I'm like, I didn't see it.
So like it makes it difficult. You had difficult like with switching weapons on the fly and all that.
Yeah, well, it wasn't difficulty with it. It was just like it would just be.
Or
so
trying to see your
big.
load up.
Yeah,
your loadout.
My loadout would just be it'd be so big. Not like, and I'm not talking about like getting into the backpack and loading up that. I'm talking about like just quick switching.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Or when like you craft something, that's your weapon now. I'm like, no, go back to the pistol. You know, it was a lot of like. I was fiddling a lot more than that, and when things had to get urgent and like time to move, time to fight,
Now you were fighting because you're playing on a higher difficulty.
Yeah.
I imagine a lot like the
you gotta
decisions were a lot more.
Yeah, it was really reactive, but you got to react to everything because everybody's on you so quick. But like the menu screen just like blocked a lot of what was coming near me, and I gotta know where I'm going.
Since we were talking about the infected, how did you feel about were they bloaters?
There was Shamblers was the new one.
Shamblers were like the ones
those blow up when when they died.
They blow the smoke or
the acid thing.
Or
yeah, those got like
fumes.
Because and their fumes would sit for a while. So when I would run around and try to like run away, I would end up running back into it. I'm like, this stuff is still up. Like, go away. It was just the mist would just hang around. So like I'd like
I
run
know you're
out.
gonna be back.
Yeah, and then like so that would bother me. And then like they were accurate. They would like wind up, softball throw this thing like through a window,
put the leg up and everything.
Yeah. Yo, like they were accurate. So like
they were actually surprisingly accurate. I'll be chilling, be like, oh
yeah, okay. Like got me. And then like the scars were accurate with the arrows when you were sprinting. They were getting you. And then you had to pull it out, and then I'm like, oh, now I got to sit and do this. I'm like, so.
Yeah. Actually, like the first level that you actually fight the scars, I actually like that level a lot for some reason. Maybe because
that took me a little bit because I had to get used to them. But then after that, I didn't have too much trouble.
Maybe because like I was so used to like it was just like a notable change in environment.
Something,
like,
give me something.
Yeah. It's like super lush and there's like fire and all this stuff, and then like you have or it's like as opposed to like another like dark building with like you hide behind a desk.
It don't matter because you got to do it all over again with Abby. Yeah. So like that's why I feel like the game. That's the one thing. The game never evolved until like California, that last hour. But you didn't really get to experience California. You were just like, all right, let's get to the end. By that time, you didn't care. You just get to the end. Everything was just wet, raining, dark corridor building with some foliage and a boat. That's all you got. Like for 20 hours. For a 20-hour game, that's all you get. And it was just like, I wish I would have spent more time in the mountains.
I got you.
Like, and that's what Last of Us 1 got so well. You got like streets, you got the mountains, you got the snow, you got schools, you got like fall, you get all these different ranges, and that's really showed the beauty of the game because you're getting sun rays, you're getting this, you're getting that, like.
Because I think that was like that was how they told the passage of time was like.
That's how you knew, yeah.
Seasons.
I didn't know like day 1, day 2. I'm like
day 3. Seattle.
Like this is a long day. This is a very long day, and
that gets into my story. My story
it's a
problems.
Long day, and Dina is on my back, getting on my nerves.
You brought up Dina. All right, we gotta talk about it.
So we can let's get into characters.
Get into characters. How did the characters? How did you feel? Did you care about any of the new characters? Because I didn't.
I cared about Tommy. I did care about Tommy.
But Tommy's not new.
Oh, that's true. Okay, so new characters.
Yeah, new characters. Dina.
Owen could have gone. Boo. Bye.
Owen.
What was Owen's girl? Mel.
Mel was annoying.
I got a problem with Mel going out on detail. Pregnant,
Prego, yeah.
like 8 months. Actually, no, yeah, it's like 7, 8 months. Huge blow. They're like, but then she's like, "Oh no, I'm fine." Oh, then she'll like, "I'm fine, I'm good to go. Don't worry about that." Then later she'll be like, "Oh man, I wish I had some time to sit." You know, I'm like, "Shut up! You should have sat your ass back in the."
Well, my problem with
and
that
then like climbing fences and gates.
She's like, "Boost me up here," and I'm just like,
Belly just hit the. I'm like, then she's like walking across this boat. I'm like, oh my god!
Like, you were the most athletic pregnant woman I have ever seen in my entire life.
And then they're like, oh, don't worry. Like, she was like, don't worry, things will be fine when I go out there. And then like, are you sure? This is like the most we've been attacked by the wolves and the seraphites. This has been really bad lately. Yeah, but I'm feeling good. 2 minutes outside the gate. Bop, 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 bop. Truck flips. She's like, wow, that was something. I'm like, no, it's time to go home. Well, go back.
My thing was like, why was she out there? Because I'm just like, I get you're a medic, but I'm like,
she's the one medic in the entire civilization.
I'm just like, are you seriously like the only? And they pass like all these like able-bodied soldiers out there playing basketball, and like talking like, "Hey, what's up, y'all? Hey, what's up, y'all?" I'm like, take one of them. You go sit your pregnant self down. Like, what is this? And then
when they get ambushed, like more soldiers come up to shoot. I'm like, can we all just travel together from this point on? Because we got ganged up on 3 times.
Oh God.
Like day 1 sucks. Like,
how about Carl? Was it Carlos?
Carlos, I didn't like Carlos because he spit on Joel after he got killed.
Yeah, so then like
I didn't like that.
And then like there was like really no. Honestly, if we're gonna be 100%,
there's no redeeming qualities on anybody really.
So what we're gonna go in. One of my main issues. There's too many characters for the narrative to.
This is new.
Yeah, so I feel like there's too many characters, and I feel like there's too much plot. Or sorry, there's too much going on in this story, and they're asking you to care about everything. So they're asking
when the overarching plot is revenge.
Exactly. So they're asking you to care about this revenge plot between Ellie and Abby. They're asking you to care about what happened between Ellie and Joel. Why are they not talking? And he's dead now. Like, they're asking you to care about Abby. They're asking you Abby and her relationship with her dad. They're asking you to care about Abby.
Which we find out after 10 hours of gameplay.
Exactly.
Now time to care.
Exactly.
Like,
so then they ask you to care about her relationship with Owen. They ask you to care about the triangle, love triangle that they have going on.
2 love triangles.
2 love triangles that they have going on. They ask you to care about, speaking of which, they ask you to care about Dina and Abby, or Dina
Jesse.
And Dina and Jesse.
Yep.
They ask you to care about Jesse and Ellie. They ask you to care about Dina and Ellie. So I'm just like, yo, y'all asking us to care about a lot. Then you're also asking us to care about this longing war between the Scars and
the wolves, which you have to read all these letters to really get some type of
an idea.
Yeah.
Which you still never really explain what happened, because like I think
you know what I would have, as a character, I would have liked to have seen the actual mother that they keep painting her around the city.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen her.
You don't see her. I just thought about that. I just remember that. You don't see her at all in the game.
Exactly. You forget about that. You tend to forget about a lot of people that just end up dying. Yeah. Nobody. And then another thing that bothers me: nobody died from an infected. Everybody just killed each other.
True.
So the infected is really just thrown as like they're just thrown in the background too much for me. Like they seem like they're just an annoyance. Rather than like, no, these things are evolving. This is a rat king in the freaking basement that's like 8 clickers put into one. We're just gonna walk. We're just not gonna.
Yeah, I did not see that coming at all. I was like, oh,
dude. So we're just gonna ignore it and just go right past that. That it took a while to kill it and beat that thing.
Bruh mutated and split a whole nother half of them. Like a whole nother person.
Should we not research this? Because this could be happening more. You know. So like that was a thing we just blown past. Like so the infected aren't like as a problem anymore. it's the people, which I get, but now we're getting into Walking Dead territory when the walkers, I'm like, oh, these things are still dangerous. And there's a lot of them. And then I remember there was a discussion about like, oh, there's that big horde of them coming through. That never happened.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like,
that was the reason why they were out on patrol, right?
Yeah,
like trying to like stock up on supplies and stuff.
yeah, because they're trying to like gear up for this big old horde of walkers clickers
Oh,
that were supposed to be coming through. That never happened. That never culminated to nothing. So the reasoning for that just never came to be because we're worried about day 1 and day 3 and who's humping who, and then like this relationship. I'm like these are the least concerns.
Yeah.
Like,
so all right. So
goes into like caring about a lot.
Goes into caring. All right. Did you care about Abby?
Not one bit.
Not one bit.
Not one bit.
All right. So
Abby got all the cool weapons.
My issue with Abby, and I guess we can. This is bleeding into story territory, but whatever.
We could. There's some stuff with like character, like
characters.
So I'll fast forward to like the end. When Ellie and Dina finally get their nice house on the ranch and stuff, this is peace, tranquility, and they made it. They successful. So Dina was so ride or die for Ellie, going through all the things, saving her life, fighting, doing all this stuff, and it felt like Dina was. I didn't feel Dina really evolved as their relationship evolved much because, like, the father of the baby is dead. We just not going to talk about this. Jesse's gone. Then you name the baby JJ for Joel and Jesse, I guess. So she's having PTSD. She doesn't sleep at night. She's freaking out and stuff. Like, and if you leave and go, I'm gone. That's really? You're not going to be like, you ride or die with this girl so much, saying like, and in the beginning of the game, they were like, oh, don't worry, I'm in this. I'm
with you every step of the way.
Yeah.
All this.
But the second that she has to do something to feel fulfilled and all this, and like get this out of her system, you just pack up everything and go. Go where? You have a good spot right now.
Were they still part of the settlement that they were in?
No.
I don't.
So
they were just like out on their own.
Not. Once again, they don't.
Yeah, they did.
We don't know. Did they go back to Jackson? Or are they just out in the middle of?
Yeah.
There's just so much time that just like left from 3 days to. All right, now they're here.
All right, here's this, and they have a house.
Apparently, on the other side, Abby has been like captured for months.
For a couple months, yeah.
So like, there's a time leap, and then there's time leaps back, and then there's time leaps forward. Then there's time and time. It's like,
oh gosh, there's a lot done back here.
Yeah.
So with Abby and the whole Abby. So first, I'll touch on that. That was the one time that conversation between Ellie and Dina was that whole segment, I would say, like that whole time jump segment, and they're dancing with the baby and all that. That is the only time I felt like their relationship was actually a relationship. And I actually somewhat cared because Dina pleading. First off, the voice acting is very good. The voice acting is very good. They do
the acting.
The acting is great.
Yeah. It's
Well, I guess it's technically acting because they all have the facial
they have
recognition
to actually
and all that
play the
stuff.
guitar and do all that stuff.
So all that is phenomenal, and I think the scene between Dina and Ellie, and Dina's begging Ellie not to go, actually kind of hit. I was like, okay. She's like, hey, we have a family now. She doesn't get to be more important than that. I was like, okay, that touched me. Because when the game first starts, they're pretty much already a couple, and you're basically, as the viewer kind of coming into it, you're playing catch up.
Yeah.
And it really just felt so much like, which is a lot of this game, a lot of it felt contrived. So like the game, I care about this because the game's telling me to care about this, because like they're like, hey, you should care about this relationship because see how loving they are. See how
not really
exactly. See how loving they are. See how like nice they are to each other. See, look, they joke, they kid, they pal around.
They smoke weed together.
They smoke weed together. Yeah. They do all that, and then it's like, okay, but. All right, they're together.
Ellie was very unlikable through this.
We're gonna get on that.
Ooh.
But back to this relationship real quick.
But on the relationship, it's like when they first day one when they first get into the Fedra, like Ellie's like Dina's trying to be all girlfriendly, like she's
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, remember that one time that we were like in Jackson and we ran up on that and they caught us doing like it was so great, and Ellie's like, yeah, it's crazy,
Yeah, it was cool.
awesome,
Yeah, it was awesome.
yeah, cool.
Yeah. And I'm just like,
you're weird. So are you.
yeah, we're weird together. Huh? Are we awesome?
Yeah, so I'm like, shut up. I don't want to hear this.
It was a lot of like, all right, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
And then it killed the mood when I'm like, they busted the door. Oh, got to kill 3 infected. Oh, well, that was crazy, wasn't it? like what? Like, this is not a good time. Like I said, like there's so many times they just brush past what happened, like we don't really register it until later. It was really awkward.
Well, that and also remember they make with that relationship, but particularly they do a lot of the show don't tell, or sorry, tell don't show, so which breaks the narrative rule of show don't tell. So it's all, hey, remember this time. Hey, remember we did this. Hey, remember that. They're telling you like memories to establish that they have a history, rather than the viewer, the player experiencing a history, or just like watching them grow closer, or or get to that relationship status by the end of their journey or something. So
But that's not what bonded Ellie and Joel, us to Ellie and Joel when we played the first one. We saw them begin when they first met. We knew the purpose and what they had to do, the importance of it. So that was a higher arching thing. And they didn't like each other. Now
they were also characterized better too.
Right.
Everyone's like,
and Ellie is way more charming as a kid than she is as an adult. Ellie's annoying as an adult.
She's okay. That's going on the likable thing, which we're going to touch on in a second.
Right. But like we saw them grow together, and as a player, you're seeing the dangers of Ellie rescuing Joel and like helping him out, and then Joel like killing for Ellie. We saw that come together.
You're seeing them grow
rather
closer
than
to
hearing
each other,
old
rather
stories
than hearing
from
about it.
Right. So therefore, it's just
exactly.
like,
So it's like, oh, okay, I guess
like
you guys...
that doesn't sound as cool as that, and this is what I'm like. This is what I'm expecting going into this, rather than also the real quick side note, a little false advertisement went into this game too with the trailer of like Ellie's like getting like
where
she
puts
put
her hand
her
over
hand in
her
her
mouth
mouth. It's
and
like,
it's
what are you
Joel.
doing here in this Joel? Whereas now it's just Jesse. I'm like,
It's like, oh, hey,
Yeah.
look. How'd you feel about Jesse? He was just there.
yeah, he was
literally just there.
he was there for the baby. That's it.
He was there to
create a baby.
To create a baby.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, you did that.
Like, all right, we got your sperm. Bop. Get out. You just throw knives.
Speaking of false advertisement, Last of Us Part 2, they also make it seem like Joel's going to be in the game a lot more. Because really, I think, don't quote me on this, but I want to say I've heard someone say, like just online, like in chat and forums and stuff, they only spend like 5 minutes together, I think, like throughout the entire games, like cutscene-wise or even gameplay-wise.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, like it's just like, really? Okay.
Maybe more than that if you count flashbacks, but if you want to count like just current time, yeah, they. And that's another thing that makes me not like Ellie so much. It's just constantly bickering at Joel throughout the entire thing.
Ellie is super unlikable in this game.
Yep.
It almost, oh man, it pained me. Like it hit me late. It hit me late because I remember playing it, and I'm like, okay, they set up their revenge plot for her to go after Abby, and for the most part, I'm with it. I'm like, okay, all right, this is pretty cool. All right, let's see. I love a good revenge story. Let's see how they do it. And she's going through the game, and she just seems really just dour. She's pretty mean. Like she's pretty mean. Like she was mean to like the first dude.
She's cold to Joel, first of all.
Very cold.
Because when he comes in the cabin, he plays the guitar first. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
she's
give
cold.
me something, Ellie. Jesus.
She's cold to Joel. She's cold to who's the shop dude who like called her the name or the bar dude or whatever.
Steve or Joe or whatever.
Yeah, she's cold to him. Even though I get like she's like pissed at him, but she doesn't forgive him.
Don't take the sandwich. It's survival. Take the sandwich.
Food
Please.
Food is
scarce.
supposedly scarce.
Very scarce.
And
You
you're
better
over here,
please
like,
take the sandwich.
And it was like a steak cutlet, like something
I'm
like
like,
prime and stuff too.
what,
I'm like, if you don't You know, shut up and
Like,
freaking just
swallow your pride. Take this sandwich.
can't taste hatred, baby.
You about to smoke weed. You gonna need a sandwich after that.
That'd be funny if they would have added that in there. Like, I wish we had this. I wish I had this
took
sandwich right now.
That would have brought something full circle in this game.
Oh Jesus. Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, she's just cold to them. Like cool with Dina, but not really like embracing.
Never really. I feel like the game never really explained why Dina was attracted to Ellie, or like why they were together. Because it really just kind of like, yeah, I guess you guys both are corny, but I feel like you guys have this chemistry with other people as well. Like it doesn't really. There's nothing that really said like this is.
Yeah, it's just like
this is why these two should be together, or this is why you should root for this couple. I don't know.
No, you're not fighting. You're not really fighting for them to stay together. If they left, they're like, well, all right, whatever. Okay. The only reason that really does because she ends up pregnant.
Yeah,
that's the only thing. But that was just like the added thing to.
Oh, she's pregnant. You gotta care. You gotta care about if she lives or not. Like, which sucks because Dina seemed like a likable character. I just didn't care.
Yeah.
As in, like, I was just like, oh, all right, somebody. All right, especially after you just killed off like the main character of the first game, like within like first like all willy nilly, it was kind of set a precedent of I don't really get attached. These people aren't really gonna land.
I don't know if I met like okay, so if this is the Matrix, the first Matrix, amazing, great, awesome, Neo, awesome, we got Neo. Neo finally has his powers. Second Matrix, Neo's dead, and now. We're going to show you what happens with Mr. Smith for the next movie and why Mr. Smith felt this way and why Mr. Smith was like felt encaged in and stuff and why Neo's what Neo was doing affected his story. I don't care. I wanted to see Neo get his powers and become the one. And now that he is the one, I want to see what he's going to do as the one. But no, you're just going to kill Neo and be Mr. Smith because Mr. Smith has feelings too. I don't want that. No.
True. So no one came into. Oh God, this is like I'm kind of like a I see what you're doing, but you did it wrong. Kind of like feeling with this game, or it just didn't work. I'll say it didn't work.
Yeah, some people are like, yeah, it was a bold statement, bold thing.
Very bold.
Attempts.
I will give the game that. It was very bold. They went to a very bold direction. However,
that failed.
Bold does not always mean good.
Yeah.
If we're going to be 100%. Subverting your expectations can work. Not always, but it can work. It can work. And this story that they told could have worked. But we're going to get into that a little bit later. I kind of wanted to talk on the whole, before we move on to Abby, let's talk about, and Abby killing Joel, because you can't talk about one without the other. Let's talk about the whole, how did you feel about Ellie and Joel's blow up? Like all right, so.
Oh, when the flashback.
Yeah, when they finally revealed that she knows about his decision.
Well, it makes me once again not like Ellie that much more because we know where Joel goes. Mm-hmm. We've already established Joel gets killed in front of Ellie.
Yeah.
So all the just beating down on Joel with flashbacks and like her being so distant, it stings
worse.
A little harder.
Yeah.
And I can't like now it's more like let off the gas, please, let off, because we already know that Joel's going to get killed. We already know the severity and like the weight that it's going to have on this whole story, the whole game. Mm-hmm. So why would you keep beating on that? And like stomping and squishing and smashing, like you're just throwing so much on something that's we already know where it's going to go.
Well, that's the thing. We all know Joel did bad things. The game established that pretty early. The first game established that really early when like I think the first thing you do as Joel is like chase down one of the Fireflies and you like break their arm because he messed up a deal or something like that. Mm-hmm. So it is already established that Joel's a pretty bad guy, but that's part of what makes him compelling. You see this guy who's done all these terrible things, who has this really sketchy past because, he lost his daughter. The guy's just going through the motions.
It's survival.
Doesn't really care. And then when he meets this girl and he finds this love that he never thought he would have again, it brings like a nice, interesting balance because you're starting to see like a person who you're starting to see him go from like this cold-blooded killer to this father figure again, like, or starting to get hints of this father figure. So it's like a balance. You have the good and evil, and that's kind of really, honestly, if you have a good character, all your good characters should be.
And also,
balanced.
his intent was to care for this girl, and cure the world, possibly. Like there was, like it was really good intent, and it was like it felt unselfish after all the foul stuff he has done. It felt, I'm doing something unselfish, caring for another human being and stuff. Everybody's intent in this game is just to get laid.
Well, that's the thing though, because they try.
I'm gonna get you back after I get this booty. Like everybody's just getting laid. That's everybody's intent. It's just so like crisscross, and it's like it's very. There's no greater good, no greater cause than anything.
So with Joel, the decision is like you can either let Ellie die to create a possible cure, because there actually was other.
There was other people who were immune that
there was
failed.
other people that were immune that failed,
and they ended up killing them because it didn't work out.
Yeah, to turn on him the way she did. Not saying she shouldn't have been upset or something, but to be that cold to him when you know that this guy did this out of the love for you, just really just felt selfish and unjustified and like the hate that Joel got felt really unearned, and bro just deserved so much better.
Yeah,
like it. Oh my God, it kind of brings me into Abby. You want to jump into it? Or have you got some others?
Where do I start with Abby? So they beat down on the old characters that we've come to love after 7 years. We haven't played this game in 7
I keep forgetting how long the game,
7
the gaps between the games
years. That's 2 presidencies, like 7 years. That's a long time for us waiting to continue on. And you do away with them. You do away with one. The other, you make unlikable. You grow them. First of all, like I said, she's not as charming, and all her cursing and jokes aren't as funny when she's 18, 19 years old compared to when she was like 13. So,
not too many quips. I can't really.
Just
I can't
dry,
really,
dry, very dry,
very dry,
very just empty. Like when it was so cool when young Ellie was like seeing a magazine. Oh, cool! That's awesome! Oh man, like cool! I got that card. What movie is that? All these things that she was just like never seen, and like the childlike glow in her voice and like her eyes and her face when she was just like, I want to see this. And then Joel's like, oh, maybe I'll take you and see you one time. Oh, really? That sounds so cool. That's such a great thing to like bond with. Like now we just go complete opposite with Ellie. She's like, yeah, Joel showed me that movie. We watched it a couple times, and it's like, I'm like,
oh Lord, all right.
Yeah, it's just like,
get some pep in your step.
Yeah, I'm like, it was just dry. It's like, oh yeah, maybe we might watch when we go back. Yeah, I'd like to watch that. You watch that? Yeah, I mean, it's all right movie, Dina. I don't know. I'm like, oh my God, I wanted to play the game on mute so bad so many times, but Abby, going on to Abby. Now we got to like try to start refresh. With
this
new character, her father saves a zebra caught in some barbed wire. Cool. You like animals. You're sympathetic and whatever. But like, so they do all these things. Like, oh, she cares for her friends too. She goes out of her way. Her friends don't even like her at the end. That she cares. She cares for.
Oh yeah, she turned on him. Well, she turned on the group, the wolves.
Yeah, she ends up shooting all her friends to save these little girls. And then, like, at the end, like, Mel's like, no, everything you touch turns to crap.
Yeah.
Like, so your friends don't even end up liking you. So why should I like you?
Owen still liked her.
Owen got capped. Whatever. Owen, I didn't, and then, he, rightfully so, because he was messing
cheating
around on Mel with Abby brolic behind, like, it was just, that was going to come up. Like, so, like, we're like at Last of Us Part 2, we build Super Ellie. Like, what? She gets a crossbow. She gets a big old shotgun. She gets, like,
She got like some like state of the art like M16.
She
or
got
some
the
crazy,
cool stuff.
Some crazy behind gun.
She
that
like,
only held like 10 bullets. I was just like, well, okay.
She could punch zombies' faces into the wall like easily. She could like. I'm like, yo.
So
it was just something irked me about just having to restart leveling up again middle of the game. I hate when games do that, by the way. Like Red Dead did that to me too. Where you, you make that settlement, and then like, oh, dead. Now, what was I doing all this for? I spent so much money and time and effort and traveled so much, and just for it to just not mean anything. And then you play as John Marston, and by that time, there's...
Oh, my God, the longest prologue in history, my Lord.
You built that farm, didn't you?
Bruh.
You hammered... You felt accomplished after that thing was put up. You felt like, yeah, I went and bought the bonds. I, like, paid the bank back.
I am a big fan of Red Dead 1, but good God, I did not need to see John Marston build that house,
but you felt
build that ranch.
You sweat. You sweat. You gonna get that farm life. They said the most immersive game. Yes, it was, because you hammered every log.
Oh my gosh, painted like every fence.
And it was so tedious. Pick up, move here, touch this.
Hammer, tap A. I'm like, yo, come on, man. But yeah, so Abby. All right. So since we're here, the biggest issue with Abby, and just from a storytelling perspective, is I feel like the story went for shock value with her reveal. Because when you first...
Not to mention the switchover as well.
Not to mention the switchover, but also, remember when you play... Because I already knew that Joel died. I already knew that Abby killed him. But I just wanted to play it because, it's different hearing about it than actually experiencing the moment for yourself. So
why? Because that's what the game does to you. You heard about that time that they had. You heard about the freaking moments. You heard about what Joel's been doing over in Wyoming.
Oh Lord. So the game starts off, and you're actually as Abby. I think actually the first.
No, you're Joel.
You're Joel. Then it switches to Abby.
Which once again, pacing. Just you're Joel. No, now you're Ellie. No, now you're Abby. No, now you're back to Abby because Joel's dead. And now, like an hour of that. Flashback, you're playing as Joel. Now, flash forward, you're...
Oh, God. So, all right, so...
That's the first hour of the game.
My God. You're starting as that, and then, so you're starting off, like, playing as Abby, and then they're looking for somebody. You don't know who. Of course, they don't say who, because they don't want to... They want everything to be shock. So then, cut forward, Abby gets...
That whole, like, hey, let me show you something.
Yeah.
No, it's right over here. Let me show you something. I'm like,
yeah.
They did that like 3 times in this game.
Don't look down. Oh, I don't like heights.
Like, not much further now.
Speaking of heights, did you jump off stuff?
Yeah.
I jumped off stuff so much in that game, like just heights.
Because you didn't know where to go.
Because I just knew like it would kill me, and it's just the animation of it's so funny to me.
Yeah. All right. So one little cool thing that they did add in the game, since Abby playing as Abby, since you are afraid of heights, if you stand over at a ledge, the screen gets blurry.
Oh, okay.
And she starts getting queasy and stuff. So I was like, that's a cool little character
little
thing.
Nod,
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
Little character quirk.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, so. Of course,
not enough to save Abby though. For me.
Not enough.
No,
not enough. All right, so they're looking for Joel, but of course they don't say Joel because they don't want you to know. They first off, they weren't counting on this game to get leaked in the story details and all this to get leaked. So imagine if everyone goes in blind, midnight comes out, you're like, oh, it's Abby. Oh, they're looking for somebody. Okay. And then it turns out Joel's there, and then Abby has a shotgun. Boom, in the leg.
I see how much meat came off that leg. I'm like, ooh.
Bruh. So everyone's like, what? Joel? Oh, no, they're looking for Joel. And then Joel gets killed within the first 2 hours of the game.
Let's talk about the fact that them being brought into that room, a bunch of strangers that they don't know any of them.
Gonna get on that. Hold on. So you start off, you're shocked. That's your shock value moment. And I think that's what Neil Druckmann and them were going for. Unfortunately, in that shock value moment, you really you didn't do a good job setting up Abby or her people that she's rolling with. So when you ask us to play as her later, even though I guess you somewhat explain why she did it and what her motives and things are.
Because you sacrifice the
Well-
characteristics of like two characters that are way smarter. They set up in the first game, they're way smarter and way more
That's the
instinctive.
thing. So that's the thing. When Joel and Abby first, Abby's looking for Joel. That's the reason she goes down in the route that she goes. She doesn't find him just on like tracking skills,
No.
or anything like that. She finds him
Dumb
literally
luck.
by dumb luck. Literally by dumb luck, and she gets saved by him. It would have been kind of different if like she saw him getting attacked, she saved him, and that would kind of give at least that would kind of give him a motive to trust her the way that he did when they go back to their cabin or whatever. You're making her seem possibly irredeemable because she kills Joel in cold blood. The fact that he saved her leading up to that, like the fact that she would be dead if Joel didn't step in, doesn't even come up like at all. So it doesn't make her seem like she has like
Yeah,
a
there's no
humanity.
there's no
There's no
conscience.
balance or
Yeah,
something.
she has no conscience.
Yeah.
She has no like fighting with like
Like, okay, this guy saved me. Well, maybe this isn't him, or maybe he's not as bad as I thought. So there's no like.
she wouldn't have known that was Joel if Tommy didn't say
Tommy
it.
didn't say it. Yeah.
Like, hey, my name's Joel Tommy. We live down here. My social security number is 58362.
58362.
Yeah, like
95.
yeah, like we got
I was born
approximately
on this date.
40 boys, 36 women, 12 kids.
We got about
on the
18
camp.
boxes of ammo. Just
Here's the
shipped
key
in.
if you want that.
You guys should come in, fill up. I was like, bruh.
This dude Steve down there makes some really good sandwiches as well.
Really
Like,
good sandwiches. He might call you a name or two, but yeah.
yeah.
Oh, so yeah, it just really just kind of it really set a unfair steep hill for Abby, which if the storytelling was better with her whole backstory, I feel like it could have maybe be like, okay, I get it now.
But that's the thing. Like, she's a very hollow character. What does she like? We don't know what she likes. She collects coins because of her father. Everything just goes back to her father. Literally everything. Like, oh, I like animals. Why? Because my dad helped animals. Oh, yeah. What else do you do? What do you like? Well, I worked out because my dad died. Everything goes back to her father. It's just very hollow. We know Ellie likes games. She likes video games. She likes collecting these trade cards. She likes movies.
Does she still like that stuff though?
Well, you still collect them throughout the game. Well, I don't know what she likes anymore. She likes
What were we
guitar.
collecting because like what
They were trading cards.
They're trading cards.
Yeah, but she likes guitar. We know that's like a little side thing. Like, what does she want to do with guitar? I don't know. I don't know what the aspirations of any of these characters are.
Very true.
Like, I don't know what they want to be. Like, okay, I got revenge. What
What
do you
now?
want
Well,
to achieve? What do you want? What do you want?
That
Like,
was
what do you-
another thing. She never really talked about the whole killing Joel thing after it happened. Like her main.
No, she just buried that deep. That's why there is an aspect of that that's interesting because like she just buried it deep and she just kept every dream she had was Joel
her-
dying. Joel dying.
Not Joel. It was her finding her dad.
Oh
Or-
no,
or
I'm,
her running
as
out
Ellie.
from-
As far as Ellie,
Oh,
Ellie was waking up from dreams, like seeing Joel dead, Joel dead, Joel dead, Joel dead, Joel dead,
Yeah.
and then like Abby was going through that door.
And it sucks because there's elements I do like that they did kind of explain, like her relationship with Owen fell apart because she was too hell-bent on revenge with her dad. That was one thing I actually did enjoy. I felt like if you were going to explain her backstory, I felt like you should have went all really drove home that relationship with her father. I felt like that was something you should have seen. That way it would have made, I don't know, it would have made, because just knowing that was her dad, I'm not going to feel anything for the dad, just, seeing based off that one memory of them doing whatever the hell they were doing with was it a deer? I don't remember.
A zebra.
Zebra, yeah, doing weird stuff with a zebra. So, I don't know. And then also, he seemed, even though he didn't want to do it, I guess there was some reluctancy with him taking Ellie's life, knowing that this procedure would kill her. He was still totally gung-ho on doing it. He was like,
And then like Ellie gave Joel about so much crap about like, oh, you didn't give me the choice in the matter. Well, he wasn't going to give you the choice either. He was going to kill you because you were asleep. Shut up.
Because they never really explained like what was the idea until or what was the procedure until they already got her, until she was already like succumbed in the slump or until she was already unconscious and all that stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah. So overall, what are the all right? What are the positives overall of the game?
Positives, very.
It's pretty.
It's bold. I'll give it that. It's a very bold,
The game looks pretty.
super unsafe. Like just the boldness of it, I have to, as a storyteller myself, I have to recommend that, or I have to tip my hat to be like, hey, I didn't see that coming. It was bold.
Positives for me, it was like I said, it was a really accomplishing feeling. Achieving some of the kills when you've completed a level and got like everybody out of there, and you just like, I'm like, oh man, I felt accomplished, felt fulfilling because it was like it was a challenge. All the new ways to like prone, shoot, like hide in the bushes. There was a lot of like nice little cool elements. Get under cars. The only problem I had with the environment is that it was just very repetitive, like just
Very.
yeah, just like foliage with brick buildings, like some
Foliage.
industrial building,
With brick buildings,
like
glass windows,
glass windows.
a
Because it
car.
was Seattle the whole time.
Oh Jesus!
It was just Seattle, and Seattle was gray and rainy all 3 days. Like it was just blah, and so you just felt blah playing it, and then it's just points they were making. It was like, yeah, you're gonna feel sad, through this game. You're gonna feel
Our games aren't fun.
Yeah, it's not gonna be fun. I'm like, why am I playing it? It's like there's no replayability with it. I don't want to go through that experience again. The world in 2020 is just like not a fun place as it is. It's very depressing, and I don't want to play another game that's going to make me feel even more depressed. And like, and so I think that's where it hits even harder. Like, why it was just like, I just want this game to be over with. This isn't fun. I'm not enjoying it because the story isn't pushing you to enjoy it. Because all you're going to do is just go back and get revenge. There's no like after you get revenge, the world is still going to be crap. Yeah. Joel's still going to be dead. Jesse's still Jesse, the little baby JJ is still not going to have Jesse around. So after all this stuff is said and done, it's still going to be a crappy, really dull world to live in. And where do you continue on from that?
Yeah.
So that doesn't leave you wanting to continue and play a Last of Us 3. So especially knowing where Ellie just left alone at the end of the game because what's her name just left. She has 8 fingers now. Can't play guitar because bling, off tune. So it's just. So she can't even play that and then the guitar reminds her of Joel because Joel gave her the guitar. So
she just left the guitar.
She just left the guitar. So it's like, man, I don't want to play this again. I don't ever want to play this game again, ever.
So do you feel?
Even if they bring multiplayer, I'm not playing this game.
Yeah, true.
You better give me a carnival with some sunny themes, some
sunny day.
Yeah, a beach, sunny beach. Don't put us in Seattle. Put us in somewhere that's fun. Puerto Rico, I don't know, something. The visuals of the game are great. The graphics, that's probably the peak.
Oh, it looks great.
That's probably the peak of what the PS4 graphics engine is going to be able to achieve until we get to PS5. And PS5 isn't going to be that much higher than this.
Yeah.
It's literally this, the pinnacle of what the PS4 can even produce. Because, my PlayStation sounded like a vacuum when I was playing through it. It was it was incredible. It was working.
It was working, boy.
Sweating.
Boy, that place is
bullets.
Boss, you almost done?
Yeah.
I only got about 2 more hours left in me now.
So I was don't worry. I'm depressed enough. I'm going to turn the game off.
Oh my God. Did you like the ending?
I did not. I didn't like I said, you're doing a lot of work. You're going through a lot of kills. And for you to not achieve the goal just left me feeling unfulfilled. Now, granted, the character arc of Ellie was just the fact that she had to get to the point where she can forgive because everything was driven by revenge. Lost. Revenge is the reason Joel died. Revenge is the reason Jesse died. Revenge is all the revenge is going to do is bring more death. Yeah. So it's always just going to circle back. You're always going to. The thing is, Joel is going to be somebody else's Joel. Yeah. Joel killed someone. So they came back around and murdered all these people, did all these bad things to get back to Joel. Mm-hmm. But Ellie killed a lot of people. So somebody's going to come back around to get Jesse or Ellie because Ellie's somebody's Joel. Mm-hmm. All killing does is circulate more killing and more revenge. So that's why she stopped it by killing Abby. I get that. That's forgiveness because that's when she stopped having nightmares as well and stopped seeing Joel getting killed. was when she finally let her go. And that's when we got the flashback of her and Joel at the end. And even that
I feel
flashback wasn't
like-
fulfilling either because it was like, I guess I can forgive you. It's like,
I
shut
guess.
up. Yeah, like that's the best I'm going to get out of you. And then even after that conversation, it's like, he had no right to say that to you, to call you that word. Like, you do?
You do?
I'm
You
like,
have the right to do
I'm like,
you think I'm like, oh my God.
you know what? I'm done with you. Like, make me want to bring Shamblers into this damn camp. Shut up.
Get them all. Just
Yeah,
go.
go ahead.
Just go.
Hey, give me that. I'll throw it with you. Yeah, this thing ain't so bad. Oh, yeah. Sniff some Shambler acid. Spore me. I'm going with
All
them.
right.
They're cool.
I'll be one of you in no time.
Yeah. Like, this doesn't seem so bad.
Oh God.
At least I forget this trick. You know, I can't wait to become infected. Can't wait. This just sucks. Being human is whack. We got emotions and feel stuff. Y'all don't feel anything. Guess I'll go back to shambling. You know.
That was the high point of my day.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just I just don't want to see it continue. I don't know where you go from it with these characters. You just have to. I guess we got to be just Abby with this little kid. But this story doesn't work either because if you're doing flashbacks, you're relearning everybody from something we didn't get to experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we got to experience Joel losing his first daughter. That's the only flashback we get. Prior to that,
Everything else is told in real time.
it's just straightforward. So if you introduce new characters, you get like a Kane and Lynch experience.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're bad people. Okay. We did bad stuff.
But we're nice too.
Like, okay. But then that doesn't work. Because
The thing is,
you're just a character playing as doing bad things for just because characters
the thing
for
is,
character's sake.
again, I feel like this story really could have hit home for me. Because for a lot of people, it did hit. And if it hit for you, hey man, great. That's what's up. I'm glad you enjoyed it. But again, very bold, very ambitious. But they kind of got in their own way with a lot of the story details here. Particularly one with like Abby. Abby's not really consistent with her whole killing thing.
No.
So you mean to tell me that you spent this last like what 5-7 years, whatever, since. Yeah, I don't know what I don't know what the time is in between each game.
It's another thing. We get lost with time.
Time almost doesn't matter in this game. It's almost it's barely a construct. Anyway, so you spent like the last couple of years, getting buff and dreaming of revenge and following leads and all this to one day you can finally, get your revenge. And you get your revenge. Someone comes back, kills the other most important people in your life at the time, and you get the chance to take them out, but then you don't do it. So it just makes your character feel fairly inconsistent. Because Abby didn't really have like the whole revenge is bad plot. She had her revenge arc. She got her revenge.
If it wasn't for the conveniently placed tropes of saving that character before they get killed, we don't even get to certain these story parts. If Joel just let Abby,
that sucks.
Like wow,
kid.
you really came out here by yourself in the snow. If she, like it's
Hey, they're gonna eat her. We should probably get out of here.
Saved Ellie, getting captured by those one soldiers, and then Dina shooting them. Well, like all he had to do was just walk up and bang. It was about to happen. That story ends. Like Dina doesn't. Actually, if that happens, Jesse's alive. If you want to talk about it, and then Mel is alive, and then Owen's alive. This is but it was just so convenient. It's just like convenient kills.
Convenience.
And
It just
saves.
felt unearned.
Yeah,
it felt really unearned.
Yeah,
and then you have these people doing a real diabolical thing that feels unearned. Of course, you're not, and that's your first impression. First impressions mean a lot in storytelling, and so there's no reason why a good percentage of players are just like, yeah, Abby kind of sucks. Also,
a lot of people didn't even, like. I got friends of mine that still have not completed the game. They're probably not going to,
bruh.
And I'm like, the longer you prolong this, you're not going to go back to it.
I feel it because what did I tell you? As soon as like it switched over, I'm like, yo, I am struggling to care. I am really struggling to care.
I told you it was going to happen.
Yeah,
it's like now, like Ghost of Tsushima is out. Then now, in like Madden's going to be next, and then 2K. Then you got Tony Hawk. Then you got Avengers.
I forgot Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk, and then you like apparently another Skate. Skate 4 is coming. Then you got Cyberpunk in November.
Ooh, yeah.
You got like there's another.
Oh,
November
holiday
release.
season's gonna be like that's when like
It's
the
gonna be
game industry
nuts.
thrives. So yeah, well, like new releases.
Is it Miles Morales coming soon?
PS5's gonna be out.
Like so, like the longer you prolong this, like you're just not going to complete the game. You're just it's gonna gather dust and just get pushed aside. There's already used copies being put out there already.
Oh yeah,
like for like $39.99. This game is just like being, just get it
here,
away from me.
Get away from me. All right,
Yeah.
I completed it. I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, people are just going on YouTube to see the culmination because they just don't want to experience it. They just want to know.
Yeah.
And another thing was like I remember. So another thing that I had an issue with, remember like when Abby was crossing the bridge at the top of the skyscrapers and stuff and all that, like, oh yeah, we all take this all the time because that's how we travel. That's how we get around so much quicker. We just take this all the time. Yeah. Oh yeah, it broke when Abby gets up there. What do you know?
A big ass.
She's like, oh, we just all like, yeah.
Hey, brothers, wait.
Yeah, like you got like big dudes carrying freaking large hammers and sickles crossing this thing, but Abby breaks it like.
Oh my god!
Conveniently, it's that Uncharted feel where like everything like jump the ledge. I'm like, watch this ledge break.
Oh man,
like,
if I had a nickel for how many times these fools fell through a floor, I was like, bro.
Oh my god!
I was like, my god.
Abby fell through a floor when she first started playing as in that flashback. The first flashback, she's looking for her dad and she gets on the roof and it falls through. I'm like, what was that for? Yeah, the pacing with the gameplay was a problem. It's just prolonging like search for items and things and then find the combination and like somebody wrote a note on that conveniently placed poster over
right
there.
here. There's a safe right here. Someone wrote in lipstick.
Yeah,
the
like
code for it right there.
Yeah, like the day our wedding date is the code. And I'm like, it's on this calendar. I'm like, okay, whatever.
But, okay, so if they come up with a third one, you getting it? Any interest at all? If it continues,
it's over. Yeah.
Any interest at all? For...
No. I'm honestly going to look at reviews before I do it. I'm definitely not going to pre-order it. I might like GameFly it.
Okay.
Not going to make a big purchase on it. Do I recommend anybody play this? No, I just recommend you like. I don't know, cause like the game, the fighting of it.
I do think the gameplay is actually pretty solid, and it's
for the
one
most
of those.
Part it is, yes.
For the most part, and I do feel like there is some enjoyment to be had. However, and I guess like enough people's enjoyed the story.
I don't know if anybody's going to enjoy looking through all these little things because you have to search, you have to scrounge, you have to like pilfer all these things and look around these things because that's what helps you upgrade your weapons to use them, or because there's very little time you're going to find weapons. So to upgrade those weapons and use the silencer on the pistol, you need to scrounge and find these things. And so you're going to do that, spend more time doing that than actually fighting and combating with everything in the environment. So it's just like if you really don't mind the pace of 60% searching and 30% fighting.
That says a little more than that.
No? Okay, so look, I did a lot of searching. I mean a lot. I searched every nook and cranny. I did all like, and then I looked at like my accomplishments at the end of the game and stuff. I still missed so many safes. I still missed so many cards. I'm like, so there's even more to find. If I give the score of the game 1 to 10, I give it a 5 right in the middle.
I'm thinking like 5,
because that's literally
6.
what we're getting. We're splitting audiences. Like people hate it or they love it. There's no in between. There's no like, oh no, I enjoy it, or I recommend this to what's the name, or like is not.
I don't know, man. Like I'm torn. Like if I'd actually recommend it to someone because it's like super brutal and you do a lot of terrible stuff. Even though like I'm not gonna lie,
you kill dogs.
Yeah.
And there's one point,
lie, man, like the third time you get mauled, I'm like, look, I'm sorry, Fido.
But then there's the one when you finally get to Mel and you have to kill that dog.
Oh yeah. There's
no way around it.
No way around it. You got to do it.
By the way, like in that little part where the animals, the dogs, and they're looking for you and all that, like I just got to a point where there's like 3 people left, and I'm like, I don't have the patience, or I just ran, and I continued on the game. I just ran.
There's a couple of times where
there's some times
like,
you can just run.
Man, bump it. It's just like ding. Oh, that was one thing that was a negative. Was I never knew where exactly the hell I was going.
Because they're so
what
big.
I was looking for.
Yeah, the level design is so big.
There was one time I think you're in like the hospital and you get to like a door. Or no, you're supposed to go through a door. Just an average looking door. Nothing special about the door. Just looks like an average
I think I know
door.
what you're talking about.
And I'm just like, and I literally passed it so many times. I'm just like, where am I supposed to go?
Mm-hmm.
And then
you're looking for little things to slide through, like can't slide through that one, or like where do I go? Oh, you're supposed to slide through this little crack. I'm like, if you look on YouTube, you'll see some like interesting, cool kills that like really good players are doing. Yeah. They're like jumping, like this dude like jumped, like shot an arrow this side and then rolled and shot like an explosive arrow that side. Like, so people are doing really unique stuff. So if you can find some really cool stuff to feel like a hunter, cool.
That's a positive. Like, there's a lot of ways you can play the game. There's you can get really creative with your kills.
Yeah.
And they do allow that leeway for you to be creative and...
Yeah, it's not like one way. You got to...
Yeah, you can definitely kill a bunch of ways. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to have to go through your inventory regardless and experiment eventually with...
But yeah, but like there's like there's some games like where they have like options where like you don't have to kill. Sometimes you can just like put them to sleep.
Yeah, I don't think this one had that one.
No, it doesn't. Like, but sometimes those narratives don't add up. Like if you try to go through like a Deus Ex or Metal Gear without killing anybody, the story is kind of the narrative kind of fits that. And then, or like Deus Ex, like you were actually like a very humane person. You didn't kill
what's that game?
Yeah, but there's certain games like that.
Yeah.
Like the narrative has to be like, this is just one way narrative. Mm-hmm. So if you try to spare people, like,
they're gonna
it doesn't matter.
Stab.
Yep.
She's over here.
Yeah, but overall, I give it a 5 out of 10, just for sheer graphics and.
I'll be a little more generous and give it a 6.
And I get that. I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah.
I understand the 6s. I see a lot of 6s going around right now. Yeah. I don't think the game is garbage. It's just
no. Likewise.
5 is a game that I just wouldn't play again.
I don't think it's again. I don't think the game is garbage. I don't think the story is garbage. Well, I don't think the story is completely garbage. I just think it really got in its own way. Oh, and the theme. I'd say they go a little too heavy with the theme. Like, they literally beat you over the head with violence is bad and all this. Because even not only do you have the revenge plot between Ellie and Abby, but you also got the revenge plot of the big war going on, that too. And everyone's in a war, and everyone's like, it's
you know who I feel bad for in this? Who's the equal, like, just no. This person has no quarrels in this whole fight. The infected.
Oh, yeah, Effects is just like, well, we mark everybody.
Yeah, like, whatever. You come in my shop. Me and homie over here, half-face, is just going to come in here.
Hey. What they call
Shambler.
Shambler.
They're literally the most innocent characters in the whole game because they're sitting there chilling in their little abandoned place.
Just looking for food.
Yep, clicking around. You know, like, and then until somebody comes in their area. They don't have no revenge. They're just like, oh, you killed Chris? Oh, well, like, they're not going to get
more
you back.
for me.
Yeah, they're just even. That's the most. I have more. I get them. I get it. There's peace there. Yeah, but yeah, it's time to wrap this up, man. Like, don't play the game. Don't do it. You can watch other people do it and complain. I get enjoyment out of that, and watching their misery and them laughing at it. I get enjoyment out of that. But like, I'm right now. I just currently got Ghost of Tsushima, so I'm gonna go through that. We might do a review on that if you're gonna play it, or I'll play it and then
eventually I'll get it. We'll see.
Well, I'll play through it. And I'll send it to give it to you.
Yeah, probably. That actually probably work. Let us know if you want us to review any more games. If this is something that y'all interested in. If we did an okay job. If we didn't piss off the entire Last of Us community.
If there's any of you left.
If there's yeah.
Jesus Christ.
My God. But yeah, man, let us know. Let us know what you guys think, and let us know in the comments how you guys like the game. If me and Swerve both tripping and we didn't see the beauty, feel free to leave one of them long ass comments.
Now, I seen the beauty, I just didn't like it. I seen what they were trying to do. I just didn't enjoy it.
Likewise, I seen what they were trying to do, but I don't think they did it well. That's kind of my everything with this game. Yeah. Like, I see what you're doing. You just could have did it a little bit better. But
yeah, I'm just like, okay, I appreciate things, but Nah, I don't like it.
I don't know, man. I feel like I'm going into like retro games. Like I'm like
don't
old
know
like
where I'm at,
PS2 era. Like I'm starting to play I'm playing like the Need for Speed games again, and I'm having such fun playing them.
I went and got went and bought a PlayStation 3 and got Metal Gear 4. So I'm about to just start playing that, and I got like some old. So I'm like, I'm not saying retro, but I'm gonna go like
older
generation behind.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go play because I remember I had a lot of fun with like some PS3 games, you know,
Yeah.
some NCAA's and some Fight Nights and stuff. We're gonna do some stuff like that's where I'm at right
Yeah.
now. But
That's it for us, man.
yes.
Hopefully you enjoyed it. That's it. Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, we're gonna call the show something like Sitting with Siren or something like that.
Peace. We out.